Hey folks, what's up? Welcome back to another Poemaster video, and today let's talk a bit about the new Victor Rillaboom dropping later tonight, right, which as usual we will be playing for live. So this unit is good? I mean, I can't say it's bad, because it's not a bad unit, but I'm not a huge fan of how it works. Definitely not a huge fan of how it works. So, yeah, let's quickly go over it, right, in terms of any stat-wise stuff. I mean, it has good attack. For a unit that has, 1.5 times terrain, that's pretty decent, I'd say, right? Speed's actually not that great, but, oh well, I guess. As for the moves, you got Drum Beating, which is your main damage-dealing move, 4 gauge. Debuffs opponent's speed by 1. Very cool. Dire Hit plus high horsepower, so you have both a grass and ground type options. That's definitely nice. That's definitely nice, right? Then you have Attack Rhythm, which gives you max, attack. So he is a unit that maxed out his offenses, relatively easily. Gets free move next effect as well, and then gets 1 physical move up. Yeah, so the trainer move is nice. I mean, the moves overall are I guess Drum Beating's maybe not the best, but outside of Drum Beating, right? All the moves are pretty decent. What else? So yeah, that's the move. That's sort of the passives. And here's the one thing that I really like about him, which is the target's maxed passive, which makes his max moves AoE. That's the one thing that I think is really good about him. And then everything else is just average, right? Everything else is kind of average. Unfortunately, piercing blows is nice, right? I mean, especially for certain gauntlets. Chase down 3 powers up 30% when the target speed is lower. That's a pretty easy multiplier to get overall, right? And yeah, in terms of the grid wise, if you're trying to pull for him, I'd say 1 out of 5 you get most of your stuff, especially for the grass type damage. And outside of that, 2 out of 5 you don't really gain anything super interesting, right? Like this is kind of whatever. This is you're not really a tank, so stuff like this is also slightly whatever, right? These are going to be really niche pickups for a damage dealer. Turbo Turf is nice if you have that option, but otherwise kind of whatever as well. Trip Up is alright, I guess. But also at this point you also don't have multipliers for speed debuffs other than this one, which again you just need 1, right? So yeah, 2 out of 5 also kind of whatever. 3 out of 5 is where you get most of your stuff, right? Get another 2 for you get Hunter's Instinct, Cakewalk, right? Both your speed down, big speed down multipliers, right, are here. You have, okay, I guess technically Cakewalk has, or Hunter's Instinct has the same as, whatever that thing is called. Chase down 3, right? But yeah, you have your big Sync Nuke multiplier. You got Hunter's Instinct here as well. Obviously, you can put power-up nodes. Rejuvenate is nice, I guess. And yeah, as for 4 out of 5, 5 out of 5. 4 out of 5, you get Max Slip Up 2, which is whatever. Overwhelm 9, which is also whatever. And then you have Max Damage Guard and High Horsepower Bogo 9. High Horsepower Bogo 9 is cool if you're really just running him for ground type damage. But yeah, his 4 out of 5 and 5 out of 5 nodes suck. For the most part. I mean, they're not completely terrible, but they're also not, who cares for the most part? A lot of these are very situational. Overwhelm 9, again, can be good. If you're also trying to run a DPS Celebi on top of just doing grass terrain and infinite stun locks or whatever, right? Flinch locks, whatever. So yeah, it's not they're not completely useless, but they're also not a huge deal if you don't have them. This is really good if you're just going for ground type DPS, but his ground type DPS is not crazy good. So in terms of his damage overall, it's okay, right? His damage is okay. It's not terrible. But it's also not fantastic, because if you look at Rillaboom's damage, it's around 800k damage dealer, right? Which is not bad, but in grass types, you have Silver who's free, Gardenia who's free, Malu is a really old spotlight unit. Brendan's a very, very old Spotlight unit at launch, right? Singsu Erica is obviously insane. Special costume Sonya is insane. Rosa, same thing, right? Singsu Leaf maybe not that really worth running, but, you know, if you could get her going, good damage there as well, and obviously Maxi too, so it's like, yeah. Again, you do have the max move, the AoE max move, which is really, really nice, which is, again, my personal, you know, probably my favorite thing about him. And Piercing Blows is not bad, too, for Gauntlet. But, like, outside of that, all right, if you really want to pull for a Grass-type damage dealer, I don't think I would really go for him for a Grass-type damage dealer. And again, not that he's bad. Not that he's bad. He's all right. He's all right. But yeah, probably not going to be my top pick for a grass type damage dealer to pull for, and obviously his ground type damage is nowhere going to be as good as something like Singsu Giovanni or Maxi or whatever, right? So, not really worth it there either. But yeah, the AoE max was really nice, right? Piercing blows can be helpful, but otherwise, I feel like this unit is just everything else is very average, right? Everything else is very average, so yeah. Again, I'd say, you know, you either go 1 out of 5 or 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5 for the extra, you know, striker nuke, but 1 out of 5 you get like most of his kit DPS wise and stuff, right? You're missing like 1 multiplier, but you know, I don't think that's worth going for an extra 2 copies for. So yeah, he's just he's a average, you know, run-the-mill striker for the most part. And again, not saying he's not good. Yeah, I think he's good. He's a good unit. He's just not anything groundbreaking or crazy, right? And it's just because there's just so many more grass type damages that I really just pick over him. If there was like a summon priority for grass type units, he would not be at the top. And it's not just damage, right? It's not just DPS. Like if you look at those other like grass type damages, right? You have Essie Rosa, which can, you know, -6 the opponent's special defense very, very quickly. Then you had Essie Mallow, which, you know, maybe not as fast, but could also debuff the opponent's defense, right? And then obviously Singsu Erica has his Sun set up, very, very fast nuke setup, all that stuff as well. So it's like, not just damage, and still, even with damage, they still do quite a bit more, right? Outside of the, again, AoE max move, which is nice, but his general DPS is just not that great. So, yeah, not saying he's bad, you know, still a solid striker nuke, plus an AoE max nuke move, so it's like, you almost kind of like get like 2 striker nukes, right? In only 1 cycle, but, you know, still, it's nice to have, even though it's, you know, you can only use it once, but still, it's solid. Again, if you're a big Victor Rillaboom fan and you're pulling for him, that's, you know, definitely not a bad unit to pull for. That being said, for the rest of us folks who, one, either don't have any issues with grass type damage at all, or just don't care too much about Rillaboom or Victor, I would say this is probably not a banner you want to sink your gems in. I'd say probably like a 5 out of 10. I mean, it's still a spotlight unit, right? So it still deserves some consideration, but not too much, right? Again, you still have Ash's banner up. Pull for him if you don't have him, right? I mean, he's really, really good. I'd say like SS Wally's banner is still up. He's also a really, really great unit to pull for as well. You could save for the Halloween units, or you could save for the next villain arc, which is probably going to be the biggest thing, right? Well, maybe probably not going to be as big as Ash, but, you know, who knows? It could be. But yeah, save for the next villain arc. It's coming next month. Probably going to be really big. And yeah, you know, if you're a big Rillaboom Victor fan, pull for him. But otherwise, I'd say probably just save for this one, right? So yeah, anyways, that's been this one. I hope y'all enjoyed. Guys, think the comments up below. Like, enjoy the video, start our channel, some more about magic content, all that stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next one.